We have the Denver Broncos taking on the Steelers. This is your Week 2 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also, hit the like button. Let's start off with the Denver Broncos because they are the home team. Denver Broncos are coming off a nasty L against the Seattle Seahawks. They lost this game 20-26, and it was two safeties that happened in this football game as well. The Denver Broncos offense looked busted, and Bo Nix did not look good. Granted, it was his debut in the NFL, and most rookies struggle in their first game. But what can Sean Payton do in this game against the Steelers to help him out? Run the football more. Bo Nix had 5 carries for 35 yards. He did have a rushing touchdown. But when you look at the amount of times that he had to pass the football, you're not going to win this game. He had 26 completions off of 42 attempts for 138 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns to 2 interceptions. I can tell you now, if you put that kid in shotgun or in pistol against TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Cameron Hayward, you're going to automatically lose this game. It's no chance that they're going to win. The Steelers defense would go out there and they would dictate this game at the line of scrimmage for you. Run the football, try to win off of time of possession, and slow the game down. Bo Nix did a lot of good things. He did a lot of bad things as well. So you want to try to go out there and work off the run game to get him going with play action. One thing that Sean Payton did a lot of is something that they did at Oregon with this kid in the first game. It was a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage, and it was just only a couple throws 20-plus yards down the field. The Steelers are going to try to load the box and force Bo Nix to go out there and test guys like Joey Porter Jr. and Mika Fitzpatrick. You have to win at the line of scrimmage against TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Chip block TJ Watt, double team him, do whatever you have to do. Do not let him take over this game like how he did against the Atlanta Falcons. Because if you do, you're not going to win this game at all. So the offense, you have good weapons. I like Courtland Sutton a lot. He's a very good guy to have on the outside. Josh Reynolds was a leading wide receiver last week. He had 5 catches for 45 receiving yards. They have good pieces. It just comes down to seeing what can they do to go out there and help out Bo Nix and try to get this pressure away from him up front. So the key to victory is pretty simple on the offensive side. Run the football, let Bo Nix stretch the field, and just run different packages besides shotgun and single back and pistol. Just mix things up. Do some end-around plays. Try to beat the Steelers from sideline to sideline because they're going to try to go out there and put a lot of pressure on this kid. And that's what the Seattle Seahawks did. They blitzed him a lot, and he did not know what was going on. When I look at the defense of the Denver Broncos, this is still their strong suit. Now, you no longer have Justin Simmons, but you still have a very good player in the secondary. You have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL and Patrick Surtain. Go out there and stop the run game of the Steelers. Justin Fields may be the starting quarterback. Russell Wilson is questionable. He's still dealing with that calf injury. Whether it's Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, force the quarterback to beat you with their arm. Do not let the Steelers run the football like how they did last week. They ran over the Atlanta Falcons at the line of scrimmage, and they walked away without an offensive touchdown in that game against the Falcons. They won because of their kicker and because of how great their defense was. Go out there, force Justin Fields to stretch the field, and put Patrick Surtain on George Pickens. Make him follow him around. George Pickens is a true #1 wide receiver. He is a dog. And if you do not treat him as such, he will go out there and he will dictate this game as well. You may say the Steelers aren't explosive. You have to be careful here because Justin Fields can kill you with his legs. Even if Russell Wilson does start this game, they can put him in certain packages. Contain the quarterback run and contain the rushes of the Steelers as well and make them have to pass the football and cancel out George Pickens. Put roll coverage on him, put Patrick Surtain on him, force guys like Pat Freiermuth to beat you over the middle, and force guys like Van Jefferson as well to beat you over the top. The Denver Broncos can go out there and win this football game, but it is going to be tough. And Sean Payton has to coach up better on the offensive end to help out Bo Nix. They did a lot of play-action bootleg plays. The Steelers did not face much of that last week against Kirk Cousins, so you can work off of that. But they still have fast linebackers in the middle of their defense, so you do want to be careful with that. So the keys of victory on the offensive side, run the football, take care of your rookie quarterback in Bo Nix. Defensively, rush the quarterback, stop the run game, and force other weapons on the team to beat you besides Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, and George Pickens. Now let's talk about the Steelers. An ugly win last week, but a win is a win. It doesn't matter if you win by a point, if you win by 2 points. The Steelers went out there and they played old school football against the Atlanta Falcons. They beat them 18-10. They walked away without an offensive touchdown, which is crazy to think about. They went for it late in the game with Justin Fields. They didn't get it. They could have easily scored 21 points basically just off of Chris Boswell alone, which is crazy to think about. Run the football again. Justin Fields had 14 rushes for 57 yards. That's crazy. Najee Harris had 20 rushes for 70 yards. And you may look at Najee Harris's numbers and say he only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. He was moving the pile. That is what he was doing. And Justin Fields was 17 of 23 on the day for 156 passing yards. He was efficient. He did what Arthur Smith wanted him to do, and that was be efficient and take the deep shots every now and then. It was a huge chunk play to George Pickens that went for 40 yards. I will say this about the Steelers. If you can go out there and run the football, continue to do it. Whether it's Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the better pocket quarterback in terms of putting the football where it needs to be, but Justin Fields can kill you with those big-time plays. Force the Denver Broncos to stack the box. Run the football with Najee Harris. And you also have Jaylen Warren, who you hope will be better for this upcoming game. Last game, he was still dealing with a hamstring injury. Right now, he is cleared to play. If he is full go, we saw what he was able to do against the Cleveland Browns last year. Run the football with both of those guys. Run some counterattack and run some read option with Najee Harris and Justin Fields. The Denver Broncos have a very good defensive coordinator in Vance Joseph, so it's really going to be Vance Joseph going against Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is an old school type of coordinator. You saw Darnell Washington get a lot of snaps last week with Pat Freiermuth. They're going to run a double tight end set, and you can work off of play action to deliver the football to Pat Freiermuth or to George Pickens over the top. I don't see George Pickens going out there and having a crazy game like how he had last game. That's why other guys have to step up. Van Jefferson, he has to give you something. He has to give you production. He doesn't have to go out there and have over 100 yards receiving in this game against the Denver Broncos this week, but he has to give you something. Roman Wilson is questionable. He's still dealing with that ankle sprain that he suffered earlier in training camp. If he's able to play, give him the football. But my biggest concern with the Steelers is how would the passing concepts look and who is going to be their number 2 option. Pat Freiermuth had 4 catches for 27 yards last week. Don't just look at the receiving numbers. He was blocking his butt off. He was playing very well in the blocking game. So in short guarded situations, get the tight ends moving. One thing the Steelers and Justin Fields did a great job of was not turning the football over. Play efficient, get the Denver Broncos to stack the box, and take those deep shots down the field to Pat Freiermuth or George Pickens. But I like what the Steelers did last week, and a run game can translate over from each single week. That is one thing that really carries over. A pass game is iffy, depends on weather. But we know this historically in the NFL. If you have a strong rushing attack, you're going to be okay. Far as the defense for the Steelers, world class. One of the best defensive outings last week. The Atlanta Falcons only scored 10 points. Kirk Cousins threw 2 interceptions. I can see Bo Nix going out there and throwing 2 interceptions as well. TJ Watt is the best defensive player in the NFL. Let him do his thing. The same with Alex Highsmith. Coach Austin did a great job last week in containing the run of the Atlanta Falcons. Do the same thing here with the Denver Broncos. Force Bo Nix to beat you with his arm and force him outside the pocket and let guys like TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith deal with him from there. Cameron Hayward just signed a contract extension. He's a very good run stopper. So I'm not worried about the Steelers' rushing attack and their run defense because their run defense was very good last week. Patrick Queen had a good day last week. He was able to go out there and he proved that he is a very good interior linebacker. Did he miss some plays here and there? Yes, he did, but he was very good in coverage and he was very good in terms of just getting Bijan Robinson to stay in the backfield. Micah Fitzpatrick had a day. Have him sit in the middle of the defense like how you did last week. The thing is, with Bo Nix, he likes throwing across the middle of the field. He did a lot of that in college. He did it last week, and it caught up to him. You have one of the best safeties in the NFL. If he tests Micah Fitzpatrick, more than likely he's going to come away with an interception. Like I mentioned before, Alex Highsmith will dictate this game as well. Micah Fitzpatrick led the team in total tackles last week, and we all know with Deshaun Elliott, he's a very good safety as well. I will say this about the Steelers defense. They had a lot of penalties. Dante Jackson, illegal hands to the face, some holding calls with him and Joey Porter Jr. You want to tone down on that. Limit the penalties and force Bo Nix to beat you and watch some deep plays with Micah Fitzpatrick. This is a game that's tailor-made for the Steelers to go in and win. This is going to be an ugly football game, and it's going to be close. With that being said, I have the Steelers winning this one, 21-14. I think they walk away with the edge. They have the stronger defense. Right now, their offense is still a question mark, but I believe their offense showed more last week against a tough defense of the Atlanta Falcons. No disrespect to the Denver Broncos. They have a very good defensive coordinator. They have very good defensive names, but I believe the Atlanta Falcons defense is better. And the Steelers went out there and they won off of 18 points. If you can get up to 21 points, you easily win this game. But let me know in the comment section below who do you have winning, the Denver Broncos or the Steelers. And the biggest storyline is this. If Russell Wilson's able to play, he's going against his former team, the team that just cut him and the head coach that really hated his guts. Sean Payton's on the sideline yelling at him after every interception, after every offsides penalty. If he's able to play, that's the biggest storyline. If he's not able to play, I still think the Steelers are edge out with Justin Fields. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.